Stephen Strange. The Illuminati will see you now.
We will see what kind of Doctor Strange you are.
Welcome back, everyone. This will be my full Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness review video. Hopefully you've had a chance to see the movie by now. It's been out for a couple days. If you're new to the channel, I will do specific videos for the post-credit scene, full breakdown, Easter eggs for the entire movie, especially talking about all the things that it sets up, because there are a couple very specific in the moments that really want to beat you in the face with like the really big Avengers level, big crossover event that they're teasing up. So be sure to subscribe to get all those videos. And really big spoiler warning for the movie if you have not seen it yet, because we'll be talking about specific things during this video. Getting to the incursion of it all, probably the best thing that they could have said during this movie. Everybody just hoping that they're building up to that Secret Wars event, then they say incursion like 20 different times during the movie, which is Marvel understanding their assignment for like the next big Infinity Saga level crossover event. But seriously though, when this movie actually comes out on home video, the new drinking game is going to be drink every time someone says incursion during the movie. And I know there's going to be a ton of questions about this, I'll probably even need to do a separate video about it, but when they talk about incursions, they're talking about alternate universes going to war with each other, which is a Secret Wars situation, Battle World situation, which is completely different from the Kang Multiverse War, which is about different timelines going to war with each other. There'll probably be a lot of confusion about this in the next couple years. I think that they'll deal mostly with the Kang Multiverse War, like these alternate timelines going at war with each other, during Ant-Man 3, Quantumania, and during Loki Season 2, but the stuff in Doctor Strange they're teasing with all the incursions going to war with each other, different universes, is going to be the big Avengers-level Secret Wars crossover. So just to be clear, Kang Multiverse War and Secret Wars incursions, two completely separate concepts. I think most people will come out of this movie just freaking out about all the crossovers and what it means for the future of multiverse cameos and the big crossover event that they're teasing in the post-credit scenes. But overall, I felt like it was a pretty decent movie. They did, like I said, understand the assignment. Even though we all thought that it was going to be crazy big, it did not wind up being Infinity War 2.0, Avengers Endgame 2.0. That's why I think the runtime is so short. Really, this movie, when you think about it, is a pretty simple plot. Like, it could just be a couple extra episodes of WandaVision. Like WandaVision episode 10, 11, and 12, and boom, you're done. It's just that a couple small parts of the movie were dedicated to this really big thing. Like, oh, and by the way, we have this massive, massive thing that we're setting up in the future that all you big comic book fans will know everything about the minute we say the word. And I think the first time that they actually mentioned that is when Reed Richards says incursion when he's talking to the Illuminati. I believe that he was the first person in the movie that mentions the word incursion, and that's really just what you want to hear when you're thinking about Secret Wars. Time runs out, incursions, universes colliding with each other, universes being destroyed. Everyone just bring on all those crazy multiverse cameos. Now it really does feel like Avengers 5 is going to be full-blown Secret Wars, or they'll just call it Secret Wars and not call it an Avengers movie, but that's basically what it'll be. How do you go bigger than Avengers Endgame, the near destruction of an entire universe, where you tease the near destruction of the entire multiverse with many alternate universes?
Can I transport to this planet the Fantastic Four?
Affirmative.
And there's another who was a big help to me against Carnage and Venom. My friend, Iron Man.
Benedict Cumberbatch, Elizabeth Olsen were at the top of their game. I feel like Elizabeth Olsen really brought it in this movie. She definitely understood the assignment. They really gave her character a huge upgrade during WandaVision, like they just gave her the time to flesh out that character. And a lot of what you see in this movie is just a continuation of what you felt towards the end of WandaVision. But I think what this movie delivers that WandaVision didn't is that it really takes Scarlet Witch to that villain territory. She's more of an anti-hero, like she plays a bit of a villain during the movie, like everybody in the comics who's a big Scarlet Witch fan was waiting for her to do. But the whole idea is that they wanted you to understand where she was coming from, and that was what WandaVision was meant to do. Create that bond between her and her children, while she also literally created her children, which they call out several times in this episode, like you created your children out of pure magic. It was funny to hear the way they wrote her clap back to that line, creating her children out of magic, when she said, "Don't all mothers do that?" That was kind of her go-to ammunition for people who were questioning what she was doing during the course of the film. Like different characters tell her to stop. Look at what you're doing. You're hurting all these people. But they want to show you how dedicated she is to the idea of her children. She's just willing to go that far, but it winds up corrupting her, like we see MCU Doctor Strange kind of be corrupted during the course of the movie. Cannot wait to see that spin out of control in the future crossovers in this big Secret Wars incursion event that they're building up to. You just love to see things go wrong in exactly the right way. One of the big surprises, though, was how small a part of the movie America Chavez was. Most of you know at least a little bit about her from the comics. I was expecting her to be a much bigger part of the plot, even though she was sort of the leading MacGuffin of the film. There were several MacGuffins, but she was like the biggest MacGuffin, because the whole idea is that Scarlet Witch wanted her power to go across the multiverse. But in reality, they really just kind of give you a taste of her character with the idea that she'll be a much bigger character in future productions. But it's sort of like watching Elizabeth Olsen back during Avengers Age of Ultron, like she was an important character, but a relatively small part of the film. Then when she got to future movies, they gave her much bigger character development. There are a lot of Vision references, even though Vision himself wasn't actually featured during the film, which was another big surprise. He's a part of the film, like he's a big part of the story, but he himself wasn't physically on screen. It'll be the same situation with America Chavez when they build up to more Young Avengers type of crossovers with these younger characters they keep introducing. Getting to the cameos of it all, because there's so many things that we have to say about the cameos themselves, just so many big things they were doing, even though the actual duration of their cameos was relatively short. The way they explain them in the movie is that they exist in Universe 838, which isn't from the comics. 838 isn't meant to be a reference to any specific Illuminati introduction in the comics. On their Earth, they had another Avengers Infinity War event, but instead of the Avengers, the Illuminati wind up forming, and the way they explain it is that the Illuminati formed as a think tank to stop what was going on with Thanos and stop what was going on with their version of Doctor Strange. Even though their scene was really brief, a lot of people will be complaining, how come they weren't a bigger part of the film? I think the implication is that we'll see versions of those characters come back really soon. Like, they're working on a Fantastic Four movie right now, and for example, even though they kill off most of the Illuminati, which did kind of suck, the reason why they're variants is because you can kill as many variants as you want, and you still have other versions that the actors can come back and play from other universes. So like John Krasinski can come back as a version of Reed Richards from another universe, same thing with Patrick Stewart, Professor X, all the other characters. You could kill like 100 of them, and there'd still be versions out there that could come back. I think for the most part, all our predictions on who was on the team was about 95% correct. It was really just like the last one we were all kind of wondering about because the way they were shaded in the background. It was Patrick Stewart's Professor X from a universe that was very similar, if not the X-Men the Animated Series universe. Like, that was an animated series, and they did have an animated universe during the big transition when they were going between different universes. They even played the theme song from X-Men the Animated Series when they introduced his character, so I think they just really wanted you to be thinking about the actual animated series itself. Because they're all meant to be from this one singular universe, that means that in this universe there is already a version of the X-Men with all those mainstream characters like Wolverine, Cyclops, Jean Grey. Baron Mordo of their universe had become Sorcerer Supreme. He was a member of their team. John Krasinski, like I said, Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four. In this universe, there is a version of the Baxter Foundation. He is a version of Sue Richards there. His children, Franklin Richards, Valeria. Their version of Captain Marvel was Maria Rambeau. She was just the person who was the test pilot on the day that they were testing that faster-than-light drive, got in the accident, and got the Tesseract powers. Haley Atwell is a version of Captain Carter from this universe. Like I said, she is the first Avenger of this particular universe. And I think probably the biggest surprise was Anson Mount's version of Black Bolt in a much more comic book accurate looking costume. That was really the one that we were all kind of wondering about. Like, who is this? Is it a Black Panther variant? Is it going to be Anson Mount's Black Bolt character from the TV show? This officially canonizes the Inhumans to the MCU. I was a little surprised that they included the Ultron variants of Iron Man's Iron Legion without actually mentioning Iron Man, but I think the idea is that he's either not part of the team or didn't choose to be part of the team, or he's dead in this universe, and that's why you didn't see actual Iron Man on the team. So he's kind of part of the story through the Ultron sub-storyline here with the robots they use, but he's not actually on screen. The whole thing with John Krasinski playing a version of Mr. Fantastic, though, I think we were all fan casting him several years ago. Like, it would be amazing if he was going to do this, but when people do that, typically it doesn't wind up working out in reality. So this quick cameo was a way to sort of have their cake and eat it too. Like, here's your fan service, but theoretically, if they want to have a different version of Reed Richards show up in the future, they could cast a different actor and just say, oh, it's a variant from a different universe. And because starting with his character, he's the person that teases all these incursions, the big time runs out storyline during the comics where the Illuminati have to deal with their own version of incursions before Secret Wars happens. I think they're trying to set up the idea of doing way more multiverse versions of characters, way more variants, so that theoretically when we get to our MCU version of a Fantastic Four reboot movie, that movie will be an alternate universe version of the team, but it will be connected to the MCU now. Also, John Watts, who directed Spider-Man No Way Home, directed all the MCU Spider-Man films, just dropped out of directing the Fantastic Four MCU movie. A lot of people think that he did that so that he can wind up directing Spider-Man 4 in a couple years. But now that they need another director for the Fantastic Four movie, John Krasinski would actually be a really badass director if he could do both directing and playing the lead actor. because they keep teasing this concept of incursions and universes colliding with each other, people traveling across different universes. I also think that this time runs out scenario, the Secret Wars scenario, is one of the ways that they introduce a lot of X-Men into the MCU. Like, oh, they'll just say that they're all coming from alternate universes and they'll have them look like whatever they want them to look like. The second post-credit scene with Bruce Campbell even felt kind of like a Deadpool moment with him breaking the fourth wall that only Deadpool typically does. Although Scarlet Witch kind of broke the fourth wall earlier in the film, just a little bit. The fourth wall break that Bruce Campbell did was more of a Deadpool-style fourth wall break, like he was joking at the audience and meta-joking about the film itself while talking about the plot. He looks at the camera and laughs in relief, saying that it's over, thank God it's over, I'm not punching myself anymore, but also it was meant to be a meta joke about the movie being over, like he was laughing at us, the audience, saying thank God that the movie is over. Which is something you would expect to see Deadpool do, making fun of yourself, making fun of your own movie while you're a character in that movie. Overall, I think they did a pretty decent job setting Doctor Strange up in the next leg of his journey. Like, the whole idea, I think, is that they're taking Doctor Strange to the place where his humanity is questioned. Like, the same thing that is happening to him happened to Sinister Strange, and he's gonna have to ask the same questions to himself. Because of that third eye, he's starting to lose his humanity, he's getting more and more powerful, he's corrupted by the Darkhold. He'll have to question his humanity when he appears in future movies, in whatever Doctor Strange 3 winds up being. And it sounds like Clea is gonna be a big part of that. I have a whole bunch of breakdown videos. My post-credit scene video will probably be the next video to post, where I'll talk more specifically about Secret Wars teasers, the incursions, time runs out, all the really cool stuff, and them doing Clea from the comics. Some of you also been asking me about doing merch for my channel or how to support the channel. Now YouTube is actually letting you support me by leaving tips on my videos using that special heart underneath each of the actual videos. It's right here. They're supposed to give you guys some special power-ups whenever you do that for each of my videos. So when you try that out, let me know if it's working for you. So if you want to support the channel, that's the best way to do it right now. Thank you to all of you for all of your support. If you have any questions about what was going on with the plot, the characters, or the post-credit scenes, just write them in the comments below and I'll add them to my bonus videos in the next couple of days. While you wait for everything, you can click here for that post-credit scene video. I'll update the link as soon as I post that, and you can click here for my Moon Knight Episode 6 finale video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.